What's up, everyone? My name is Alan, founder and consultant at For Now Marketing, and welcome to Braze for Technical Marketers. Today, we're going to go over how to target users who purchased last calendar month. Note on the calendar month, it's going to be an interesting use of Liquid and Braze user update step. Let's get started. So in order to do this, we need to start collecting some data from the user profile and just making sure we know when they triggered or when they purchased or triggered any action, and then logging the month of that time of the trigger. So we have a canvas called Capture User Purchases Trigger Month. Capture Users Purchases Trigger Month, maybe 2 apostrophes there. And then we're using a canvas just so that we can use a user update step, but this can be done using a webhook. Entry schedule is going to be make any purchase. So any purchase that you make, we are going to log the time of that purchase. Target audience, all users, we will allow them to re-enter because a user can make multiple purchases. And send settings should be pretty straightforward. And then here we have the user update step. And here's how the user update's going to look. So we are going to use the advanced JSON editor so we can put in some more, variety of code in here. And the first thing that we need is the current timestamp. So I'm going to create a variable called assign timestamp, and then we're going to set it equal to our favorite now keyword. And we are going to grab the date, and we're going to grab the current month of now. So let me first close this, and then in order to grab the stirf time code for that, we always go to our nifty stirftime.net resource and then month. But then month always comes with the leading 0. So the trick that we found is adding a dash in front of it, and that gets rid of the leading 0. At this point, I should really have that memorized. Month is lowercase m is for month. Okay, so back to the canvas. And then if we have this, that should give us the number of the month of the current timestamp. So it is currently March, so I should get 3 in here. And then the other thing that I'm going to do is this will give it to us as a string. We're going to end up doing some date calculations anyway, so we are going to cast this variable into a number. Cast means turning one data type into another. And the email gigs community suggested that times 1 is better than plus 0, so we will do times 1. Let's see if we're actually able to see what timestamp is. So I don't know if that's going to work, but let's see. Get random user. Okay, so we get 3 and just 3, which is great. It is March, so that looks good so far. Now that we have the timestamp variable, we're going to actually delete this. We need to actually include some JSON in here. So what I like to do is I like to look up the Braze user update documentation page. And I just like to get started with just maybe one of their sample data so we can have the attributes or have the JSON structure written out. So I'll just copy and paste this. We won't need, half of these things. And the nice thing about the user update step is you don't need to specify external ID, email address. That part is already kind of baked into the user update step. So that is nice. And the user profile that I'm going to write to is Alan1. And let's see. The attribute we're going to call purchase trigger months. So these are the months where I triggered the purchase. And then last thing I need to look up is the user's track documentation page and go to the attributes object, because I always forget what the syntax is to add to an existing array. We can't just hard set an array because that's going to override it. We're going to have to continuously add to our array. So we are going to use the array syntax. I can get rid of all this, and then it's going to be add, and then we're going to be adding the value. So let me just clean this up real quick. So we are adding a custom attribute. It's going to be called purchase trigger months. And what we're going to do is every time this user update step runs, we're going to add the value to this one. And the value that we are adding is timestamp. So we can get rid of this. And we should be adding a number because this timestamp should be a number because we casted it. And then now we are sending that. So let's actually preview and test to Alan1, see what happens. Send test to user. Test sent successfully. So let's check out that user. Nope, not that one. And then purchase trigger months is 3. Great. So now we know that this user update step will successfully log the purchase trigger month to the user's custom attribute as an array. So we can go ahead and actually launch this canvas. And now that we have this data logging canvas set up, now we are just ready to start or set up our actual communication to the users who purchased last month. So let's go ahead and create an email. And let's say this email is reaching out to users who purchased last month. As always, our emails will be quite hypothetical. We'll just use the drag and drop. So how this is going to have to work is whenever this email is triggered, we won't be able to target the user specifically from last month in a nice systematic way using filters. What we're going to do is evaluate these users' custom attributes using Liquid. And if they pass our criteria, then great, they'll get the email. If they don't, then they will abort. So first, what we're going to want to do is we are going to want to see, let's actually start by inserting their custom attribute purchase trigger month. So we're going to have to put that in there. So the idea is their purchase trigger month, and actually what we need to do is we're targeting users from last month's, users who purchased last month. So their purchase trigger months needs to include last month's number, which means that we actually need to grab the current month number. So we are going to grab assign current month is equal to now once again. It's actually going to be the exact same setup. So date filter is going to be % minus M % and then close. And then we got to assign previous month, which is equal to current month. And then we can -1. And actually, even if you don't cast the string to a number before you subtract it, if you just end up performing a math operation on a string, it ends up changing the string value anyway. But let's actually make sure I'm correct on that. So let me go ahead and render both current month and previous month. And then just to make sure we know what we're rendering. So let's see what this gives us. Hopefully no syntax errors so far. Current 3, previous 2. Beautiful. Look at that. Okay, so here's the liquid. So we are going to check if custom attribute purchase trigger months contains previous month, meaning if in the user's list of purchase trigger months that contains last month's number, that means this user did buy last calendar month and we do want to send them something. So we could say, congratulations. Realistically, there will be more parts of the email. So what we're going to do is, what I like to do is simply just write a comment saying, user qualifies for email, send email, no abort. And then we're going to end the comment just to close it out. And then for every other situation, so if the user's purchase trigger months does not contain the previous month, then we abort message, and let's include a nice message. User did not purchase last month, abort message. And then let's go ahead and close that. And then always, as always, close your if statements with end if statements. Let's just run this and see what happens. So it is aborting. That's good. And actually, it is March currently. So in order for me to test if this user is going to qualify, we do need to log 2 to the user. So what I'm going to do is you can actually use the canvas to log custom attributes pretty easily. So I'm going to just log a hard-coded 2 to this timestamp, preview and test, and then send to Alan1, send test to user. Test sent successfully. Great. Let's just refresh. 3 and 2. So think of it as we had to kind of fast forward, but this user purchased something in the month of February and in March. It is currently March, so this user should be qualified to receive this email. So let me click done and just reset it. So if I preview and test, I should, when I look up my user, be able to receive the email. And we still have an issue. Why is that? Let's go to our email and check. So one thing we noticed is whenever we use this minus sign, there might actually be extra spaces left in there. So I believe instead of like getting rid of the leading zero, it just kind of replaces it with an empty space. So what we've noticed solves the issue is we replace any instances of empty characters with, empty or a space, any instances of spaces with empty characters to make sure that previous month truly is the number 2. And now that I think about this, maybe we need to make the same change to our canvas as well to make sure that whenever this canvas is grabbing the number, that it's replacing any spaces. Or maybe the times will take care of that for us. That might be something else to explore. But let's see if this fixes anything. So random user once again, search user, Alan1, and fingers crossed, our email does look good. So now, for a user who did purchase in February, they are eligible to receive this email in March. And one last thing to consider. So let's say a user did purchase something in the month of March. Their March is logged, and in April they received some sort of congratulations or thank you email. What happens in a full year from now on, in the following year of April? That user is still going to qualify for that following year April's email because the number 3 for March is still in their purchase trigger month's custom attribute. So at some point, we're going to have to refresh the attribute and clear out old month's numbers. Can we do that at the end of the year just once? So maybe as soon as December 31st is over, maybe on January 1st, can we clear it out? No, because we still need to keep December in place. Maybe we clear out everything, but if they had December in there, we add back December. And then if not, we can just clear out everything. And that could solve the problem. And then the last note that I'm thinking of is, let's say the current month is equal to 1. Then previous month, we're going to get 0. And 0 does not really make sense. So somewhere in here, we may have to set another rule where if previous month is equal to 0, then we may have to overwrite assign previous month equals 12 and then end if. So that just makes sure if the current month happens to be January, so then previous month ended up being 0, then we just need to make sure to kind of go backwards and give previous month the real value of 12, and that should take care of that issue. These are 2 separate issues, by the way. There's the issue of the following year triggering based off of last year's data, and then the second issue is what happens in the month of January. How do we account for the previous month becoming 0? So these are some of the technical questions that we think about as technical marketers. Let me know if you have any questions. That's it for today. Thank you for watching and see you next time.